Hello and welcome to this new version of Ask Guillem. This will be done every week for Sport, the newspaper I'm starting to work for. And without further ado, I've got a selection of you questions, some really interesting ones, and happy to debate all of them. Starting with Mel Savage. He's asking who's winning the Champions League. Well, that's a hard one to start with. But I would say I do feel that there is a surprise package in RB Leipzig. They've got everything to succeed, or at least to get to the semi-finals. They're very compact, they can score, they defend well. I did think that if PSG go through the tie against Borussia Dortmund, they should be considered the candidates. Real Madrid, you cannot discount them, can you? They will always be there. Barcelona is one of the 5-6 teams favourites to get to the last quarters. I don't know if they have what it takes to go into the semi-finals. Bayern Munich and Juventus, you have to add them in as well. So I haven't answered this one, haven't I? But I do think that those would be, out of those 6, 4 semi-finalists. Would that work for now? Jason Peter 1986, he says, are Real Madrid going to overhaul their attacking options in the summer? Seem to lack a talisman. Well, the idea is quite clear. They have Jovic, who they wanted to get rid of before even started playing for Real Madrid this season. Believe me, they got him and they were thinking maybe we should give him on loan. They don't trust him a lot. And they have Benzema up front. There's clearly something absent in the attack of Real Madrid. But the target is to convince Mbappé to come to Real Madrid, not next summer, but the summer after. They may just make that kind of move in which it looks they're going to go for him, but they won't, and then try to get him in the season after. That means that Mbappé shouldn't renew his contract, and they will get him for the kind of amount of money that they want for him. That is the real target. Pogba will be available in the summer too, and you know that that's somebody that Zidane wants, but that may stop the progression of Valverde. So it's not guaranteed that the club will want to put the kind of investment that it requires to bring Pogba into the side. And then, of course, they always sign 2 or 3 players. So we'll have to see. But this Real Madrid side needs better options up front. I agree with you. Kevin Bose is saying, what's the greatest game you've ever seen? And there are 2, of course. The World Cup final in Johannesburg and that amazing goal with of Iniesta that gave the title to Spain. You know what I did at that point? And it was the most weird reaction. Having been a few minutes earlier, a chance in which Casillas saved it with his toe, and that was already very emotionally charged moment. At that point, I started kicking a chair. I was in the media area and stood up and started kicking a chair after the goal. Don't ask me why. It was just, my mind just blew out just quite clearly. I didn't know where I was. It was something that I dreamt. I never dreamt it could happen, but I dreamt that if it did, I would like to be present, and I was. And the other one is Istanbul, the victory of Liverpool against AC Milan for many reasons. Not much confidence after half-time, but on the back of that, there was my first book, and I got all kinds of information from 25 players people spoke to create that A Season on the Brink, that book. That's on the back of that game and on the back of that season, which was A Season on the Brink. Curtis CM says, what do you love the most about your job? It has to be the possibility of talking to privileged brains of the game, not just footballers and managers, them too, of course. Sir Alex Ferguson, Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Rafa Benitez, so many of them. But also those around football that give me 3 dimensions to what I see and what I understand of the game, the sports psychologists, the kid men, the physiotherapists, the doctors, to be able to hear from them and understand the game. That's why at some point I felt like I could just make a jump into the other side, if you like, and becoming first director of football and now chairman of a football club. Because I heard so many people talking about it, I thought, I think I've got a lot of answers to the things that football asks you. And anyway, so far so good with Beagles United. Dario's Mark is saying, can Braithwaite play in the Champions League? No. So basically he's come for 19, now 18 games to be played. That's basically it. Mike Hayes is saying, will there ever be a boy born who can swim faster than a shark? I've asked my contacts and the answer is no. George Mikalev 3 says, what kind of game do you expect Atletico Madrid to play against Liverpool at Anfield now that Joao Felix, Jimenez, Trippier and Diego Costa are back? Can they surprise Liverpool with the way they approach the game? No, Simeone only approaches the game one way, which is a lot of work without the ball, being very, very compact. Hopefully they will be able to counter-attack. Diego Costa miles away from being much sharp, and yes, Joao Felix will be an important part of what they do offensively, no doubt, alongside Morata, I think. And that means counter-attacking, they could do that. They did it in the first leg. It will be very tight, but I do feel that Liverpool and Anfield, both of them, can actually raise the level to a point that Atletico Madrid may not reach. Remember, if you look at the game, yes, Liverpool didn't find many chances with that compactness of Atletico Madrid, but they did create a couple. Salah and Henderson certainly. That goes in, it would have been a different story. I think the favourites, Liverpool are favourites. Child of Knights HA says, why does Barcelona's Academy so rarely produce real strikers like proper number 9's goal scorers? Do you think it's something to do with the education and environment of La Masia that prevents them from producing killers? Very interesting question, and one that I will ask more about, but I do believe that they have created killers. It's just that they're not only number 9's. Bojan Krkić, perhaps not the clearest example, but certainly he has been scoring goals wherever he's been. Obviously Messi. Icardi was at the Academy of Barcelona as well, and now doing very well at PSG and before at Inter. Ansu Fati is a goal scorer, but you can see that he has played as number 9, but he's not a typical number 9, so he can play wide as well. They tend to create players that are more than just a specialist. So because they don't look for a specialist, they don't get that killer that you're referring to.